am just pretty much worn out from wet sanding and buffing the Charger. So it's a very large car, and I've been doing it for, actually, I haven't been continuously doing it, but yeah, I need to get it done because it's going to be clear broad in a week and a half, or something close to a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, something like that. So it needs to be 100% wet sanded, buffed, and we need to get it ready for clear broad. Once it's clear broad, then I could work on getting the drivetrain and stuff all in it. And then I won't have to really worry about driving it because I won't have to worry about chipping up the paint, which will be really, really nice. So yeah, she's getting very close. I haven't posted a vid because I've been doing some other stuff, and I've also been wet sanding and buffing a car. So it's just very tedious and repetitive. I just didn't really feel like, I really didn't think there was a video worth of progress made. So that's why there hasn't been a video, but she's getting done. Stuff's happening behind the scenes. There's always stuff happening behind the scenes, but I probably should have a video out this week of at least something. So I also ordered some parts from a guy on Facebook, so I should be getting some coolers and just some random miscellaneous stuff that I needed for the cooling system to get that moving forward as well. And just really been doing some stuff behind the scenes to get the subframes and stuff made. So I'll probably get my fixture table cut. It's, even though that the metal prices went crazy high, I need the fixture table to get those subframes done. So I'll be doing that probably. I probably need to go down tomorrow and give them the files, and then I could, hopefully the heads for the, no, I guess that guy's closed tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it Tuesday, because then I can pick up the LS heads from the machine shop, and then I can get the Grand Prix back together. I also was putting a timing belt and redoing my old boss's Jeep Liberty diesel because he got it and it kept shutting down and it had a clogged intake. So hopefully that's fixed. I started it yesterday after I finished putting everything back together. It was kind of a time-consuming process. So I've been doing that too. Kind of been making a little side video of doing that. It was more of just what was going on instead of how to do it. There's a few tips and tricks, but yeah, I just wanted to get that done for him since he lets me use that shop and everything. So he could have his liberty. So let's see what's going on here. When's the next Charger vid? It's gonna be coming up. There should be one this week. When you put the elephant in it, so I'm gonna have a 426 in it. I've been trying to find a Trackhawk. Like I said, I wanted to have the 426 built and put it in there, but just for SEMA's sake, I'm not sure if that'll be, in the time frame. So we'll see what happens, but I want to find a Trackhawk. Then I could just pretty much drop all the drivetrain into the car and not have to worry about really, piecing a bunch of parts together. So I was going to order the wiring harnesses from Mopar Online Parts, and then they're like, I think they're like almost $7,000, $8,000, something like that. And I was like, well, if I'm going to spend $8,000, I might as well spend another, like another 32 grand, and then I could have a Trackhawk worth of parts. So, I don't know. It's one of those things where I know if I spend the $8,000 on the harnesses, then it's gonna nickel and dime me, because then I'm gonna need a gauge cluster. I'm gonna need the U-Connect, which those are like $1,500 a piece. Then I'm gonna need a bunch of modules, and it's just gonna really add up. And by the end of it, I'll be like, I wish I would have just got a Trackhawk. So I have a few Trackhawks on my watch list. So hopefully they come up. I mean, it's very rare for Trackhawks to go through the auction, which is kind of crazy. So hopefully we can get one of those to go through. I could win it, and then we could just throw all the drivetrain there. It'll be 4-wheel drive and actually run and drive, which will be nice. And then I won't have to guess, and I'll have a base to start off with. I'll know it runs and drives and all the electronics work. And then I can go to, let's put the 426 in it And then, you know, we already previously know it runs and drives. I'm not going to be fighting all these issues. So, yeah, so we need, if anybody knows of a wrecked Trackhawk that somebody wants to sell, you know, or wiring harnesses, or like pretty much every module and wiring harness inside the car, you know, I'd be interested in that as well. So, it's just one of those things. Parts are hard to come by, kind of, for these, especially Trackhawks. Let's see. Car's coming along nicely. Wet sanding definitely sucks. Actually, it's not too bad. I don't mind sanding. The one thing I don't like is buffing. I was using this one compound, which is a water-based compound, and it's kind of nice because it doesn't leave any residue or anything like that, and it washes off really easy, but it doesn't cut as hard. So I started using some 3M cutting compound, and it was like a world of difference. I mean, it was just the water-based stuff, like, would literally take forever to get the sanding scratches out, even when it was sanded at, like, I was sanding it up to like 3,000 grit. So, I mean, there was still some residual 1,000 grit scratches here and there, but the 3M stuff, I mean, it just wipes them all out. So I have the whole driver sides done. I was going to put the rear flares on there, but I forgot my drill is at the junkyard, so I'll grab that tomorrow. I need to drill some holes, and then I can put the flares on the door, flares on the quarter panel, and then I'll just start working on the passenger side, get that all done. Probably either tomorrow or the next day. I might start wet sanding the passenger side tonight after this live stream, and then I can get that done the next day, buffed, maybe buff it tomorrow, I'm not exactly sure. And then the roof is going to be like a day, and the hood's going to be a day, and then I should have enough time to do some touch-up stuff. So I also ordered some smoked side marker lights, and I really like how they look with the blue, so they're not going to be amber and red, which is really nice. And just a few things. I got a mirror, but it kind of came damaged. I think I could fix it. It's like I've been having this weird thing where I order stuff, it comes damaged, and I'm just like, what do I just have to reorder it, and then it's like a process. So what rims am I putting on it? I'm not exactly sure yet, because they're gonna have to be Trackhawk bolt pattern. So they're gonna be 5x127 instead of, I think it's 5x115 on the Hellcats. So I'm not sure yet. So we'll see. You should build something with a Cummins in it, maybe even a 4BT. Even though I did work for Cummins, I really don't like those engines. I feel like, I don't know, they just don't make very much power. They're really loud. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't like them. I really do like the 6.7 Power Stroke. The 6 liters are loud too, but the 6.4s are pretty quiet, and the 6.7s are just, they make a ton of power, and they're nice and quiet. You could go through a drive-through and you don't have to turn the truck off. So I might put a 6.7 in something. I also might be looking at a boat tomorrow, so we'll see what happens with that. It's a super project, so I don't even know if I should buy it, but it's really cheap, and I guess I could use some of my wood flooring abilities to redo this boat. So we'll mess with that maybe. We'll see if the guy will take less for it, because it's pretty torn up. So you should build something with a Cummins in it. Okay. Hey Dave, how's it going? We need more videos on Rampage, at least 2 videos a week. I would love to do daily videos. I don't know. I've been really contemplating just almost vlogging, so I could have a daily video on it, but I just don't know if it'd be interesting enough. I mean, I do plenty each day with everything. I mean, I work on the Charger, I work on, you know, my boss's Liberty, I work on this and that. I do plenty of running around each day, but I don't know if it's interesting enough, and I don't really want to dilute that Charger content into like videos of, you know, like a vlog almost. So I'm still contemplating doing that. I could have a daily video, but we'll see what happens, and kind of go from there. Just a lot of work, and it's very time consuming to wet sand and buff a car. So One legit video a week is good. Hell yeah. 3M the best. I mean, it's pretty good stuff. Dave, have a great day. Thanks. Hellwagon. Hell yeah. I have a job at America's Most Wanted 4x4. We specialize in Hemi swapping Jeeps. Your channel definitely pushed me into Mopar. Can't wait to see the final product. Awesome. Yeah. I can't wait to see what it can do, because we all know what it can do in a Trackhawk, but what can it do in a lighter car and something that's lower center of gravity and more, it's still going to be a heavy car, but it's not going to be an SUV. So it should be able to handle better and be faster. So it'll be very interesting. Would you ever consider building an electric charger? I wouldn't mind. I mean, I have the Tesla swap. I'm going to use it in something else. And then I'd probably just almost get a Tesla that had the front and rear drive unit, and I could just swap all that stuff in there. So it's a possibility. We'll see kind of what happens, and just kind of go from there. Rampage is one badass wagon. I've always loved wagons. Thanks. 2.7 supercharged Charger beat a Hemi. I'm not sure. How was the sales on the merch? It did okay. I sold like 44 shirts, which isn't too bad. And then I made a bunch of stuff on my on YouTube. So it just pretty much pulls everything from Teespring and it just puts it at the bottom of each video. So I just, I'm trying to get more merch going, and we'll see how it does. I mean, it did all right. It was like $300, so it wasn't bad, but it's a nice little extra thing, and then people could get cool merch. I hope what I design is kind of cool. So and then people could support the build, which I think people want to do. So, and whoever bought shirts, I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. Can you make a video of you talking? Oh shit. Have you found? Oh man, these questions are getting weird. Have I found a girlfriend yet? No, I really don't look. I'm almost at that age where it's just easier to just hang out and do stuff by yourself and not have to really worry about any of that stuff. So I'm liking the chilling. Let's see. What are my plans for the Pontiac? So there are some plans. The kit's going to be coming at the end of the month for the bigger automatic transmission. I'm going to boost the LS, and some people have guessed what I'm going to do with it, but that's pretty much until I put the video out there. I'm not really going to talk too much about it. So once the heads come back and I put the rest of the engine back together and put the exhaust manifolds in intake, I'll do a video on that. And I need to clean the subframe up. I pulled the old automatic transmission off of that and listed it for sale. So yeah, I just want to get it. I want to do a baseline, get it running and driving, maybe even not turbo, and then just go a single turbo, maybe get it like 650, 700, and then we could see what it runs then, and then I'll be getting the other surprise into it to see if we can get into like 8s, maybe high 8s would be nice. So we'll see what happens with it. Too many single moms in your age group. Yeah, that's I really don't want to deal with other people's kids either. So that's another reason why I'm single. What time is it? It is almost 4. I still haven't set my clocks back, so it says it's 2:57, but I have to add an hour to it. So yeah, it's almost 4. Hello, Dave. I need help. Bought a 2007 Dodge Charger 2.7 from a guy. He told me that the motor was bad, so I had swapped it out for a 2005 Chrysler 300 3.5 motor, and trans won't shift out of first gear. I don't know. That's interesting. It should, because I think everything's controlled by the engine ECU, so it shouldn't be unless the transmission is, has an issue or something like that. Or I'm guessing you're using the 3.5 engine and transmission. If not, then it's probably the ECU not knowing how to shift that transmission. So that's another reason why I have to use all Trackhawk wiring, or I need to figure out how to control. So how the Trackhawk transmission, so the Trackhawk and Hellcat transmissions actually put the trannies in park in a different way. So I would have to, if I used Hellcat engine harness, ECM, I would have to reprogram the ECM to shift the transmission in the correct way, or it wouldn't work. So that's another reason I want to just put all Trackhawk wiring and all Trackhawk drivetrain in the car, just so I don't have any of these electronic issues. So let's see. When's the wagon going to be done before SEMA? Let's see. Have you ever thought about swapping a modern Hemi into a Dodge vehicle of your birth year? In '86, they didn't make very many cool Dodges, so we'll just go with that. So how do I get a 300 trans or replace the 2.7 trans? I'm not exactly sure. I've never done it, so my guess is that the transmissions electronically are shifted different ways. So the ECM doesn't know how to shift it, is what I'm thinking. I'm not sure if those have like a manual selector, if you could manually shift it and see if it goes into different gears, but that's probably my best guess, is that it's a ECU non-compatible issue with the transmission. What's up, brother? I'm a big fan. Keep up the outstanding work. Thanks. Carbon ceramic brakes and carbon fiber rims. That'd be nice. I don't know. The only bad thing about carbon rotors is they're not very, for heavy cars, they're not really good at the track, because they're good, but they don't dissipate heat. They dissipate heat really well, but they're not as good on like the road course as like a nice iron rotor. So even though they weigh less, I don't know. It's just one of those things. If you want to replace them all the time, they're fine, but you could literally go to a NASA event with some carbon brakes and heavy car and pretty much destroy them in one day. So Dave, maybe some forged carbon videos. I don't know. I have plenty of that carbon scrap left over. Can you use headers meant for a 5.7 Hemi on a 3.6 Pennstar? They don't make header. Isn't the 3.6 a V6 and the 5.7 is a V8? I don't think that'd work. I'm not exactly sure. Did you sell any leggings? I sold a pair, so I'm not sure who bought them, but somebody bought them. I think they're super cool. I mean, if I was a chick, I'd definitely wear those. And if I was in mo cars or Hellcats or something, I think they're pretty tight. So, kind of a good move to design them. So we'll see if they pick up or what happens with them. But I think they're a pretty cool design. So let's see. Do you know of how open the volcano protocol for the Volvo 70R ECU have been deciphered that can be tuned and remapped on a stock ECU along with other programming? I'm not exactly sure about that. I know you can send your V70R ECU in and have them tuned, but I don't know about, I've never tuned a Volvo ECU. Whatever I've done, I just send them in, they put a tune on it, and you just get it back and plug it back in. So what are your plans in the future for the Charger Magnum? So really my only plan with that car for the future is to have fun and drive it. I just really want to, I've been working on it so long, I just really want to drive it. It's just weird how expensive used cars are right now. So even super wrecked Trackhawks and stuff like that, you would think they would go, usually they go for around, I've seen Trackhawks go for like 25, wrecked ones that obviously you're not going to rebuild, but they're really good parts cars. Usually, I've seen them go for 25 to, one that's maybe fixable, 35, 40. Now, I've been seeing them go through the auction, and it doesn't seem like they're going anywhere under like 50. So I'm not going to pay 50 grand for a parts car. I'll tell you that right now. So especially one that's really wrecked. At that point, I might as well just piece a bunch of parts together because it'll be cheaper doing it that way. But hopefully I can find something. I think I'm waiting for one. Hopefully it's a good one and we can get it. So it's Sunday already. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, man, it's already Sunday again. Greetings from North Carolina. Looking forward to the next Charger Magnum video. Interior next or drivetrain? Clear bra's next. So wet sanding, buffing, and then clear bra, and then we'll do drivetrain. And I've kind of been working on the interior a little bit, doing some things here and there, but I still don't have Hellcat interior, and I've been, I want to find the caramel interior. So the caramel leather interior. I want the caramel Alcantara interior. So hopefully we can find that. If not, I'll just put Alcantara black interior in it. So and then we can just kind of find interior later on that's the correct color that I want. But for now, I really want to get it running and driving. Greetings, Dave. Greetings, Dave. Good to see you. Big day tomorrow. 16 Suzuki's being towed to a storage shed, starting to cost me a bit. Best I get back to work and look forward to following your lead. Cheers. Thanks. That sounds like a lot of work. Moving is the worst. Let's see. Let's see. Patrick donated $8.99 New Zealand to help your airfare to New Zealand, to help you move all the Suzukis. Eugene Backyard Repair donated $5. Thank you. Towards spray tan, you need some outdoor color. I'm actually pretty dark. It's just let's find something that's white. So probably not something that's a bill. Let's do something that's like, okay, so white. So I'm pretty tan. It's just the lighting and stuff. So I'm actually pretty dark, which is I don't know. I'm half Italian, so I guess. Let's see. Also, great job with the Magnum. Thanks. Gucci interior. I've been a subscriber for about 2 years. I had a 2008 Magnum, but the motor went out with almost 300K. Damn. I wish I knew about your channel before and keep the outstanding work, brother. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, it seems like all the magnums that I see in so far, all the magnums that I've gotten have it seems like they have pretty decently high miles on them. So even though a lot of people complain about those 2.7s in them, all the ones I've got are 2.7s and they all have like super high miles. So I guess they're a pretty decent engine. It's just I don't know. It must be just people's perception. They think it's like a Cummins. It's gonna run, make like 70 horsepower and run for 10 million miles. But um, how's the Mini doing or waiting on parts? Like I said before, the Mini Cooper, the guy failed to get me the title for it, so I've just been unsure what I want to do with it. And I probably could file for a lost title or get a reassigned VIN number, but I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with it. So we'll see. That's pretty far. It's got pushed back pretty far. I was really excited about it, and then the guy never got me the title or the rest of the interior parts and a bunch of the fender wells or wheel wells and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure what I want to do with it anymore. Hey Dave, did you get the article I sent you on Instagram of the Magnum? I don't think so. I think my Instagram's been being weird because some people have been sending me messages and then it says, like, I'll see them, like, they'll say like weeks later, or I think I don't get them. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I just did color match bed liner on the 3rd gen Cummins I sent on Insta. Hell yeah. I really like that. They have like the clear stuff too, but I don't know exactly how that clear stuff would work because you have to scuff the bed up. Because my bed in my truck, before I sprayed the black bed liner in it, it was just painted the same color as my truck. But to get the bed liner to here, you have to scuff it up pretty well. And usually I scuff it with like 80 grit or 36 grit or something like that. But if you spray clear over that, you just see like a bunch of, it just looked like a bunch of chicken scratch. So I don't know if you're just supposed to spray the clear just right over it or what you're supposed to do. But I think it'd be kind of cool if you could just, clear bed line and then have like it just kind of look cool, like look painted underneath or something. I don't know. Asking about the Volvo again, do you think the R-cars, S60R and V70R are appreciating? I think certain ones are. I don't think, like mine's an automatic V70R. I don't foresee that appreciating because it's an automatic car. But the manual ones, the S60 and V70 manual versions, especially the V70s, because they didn't make very many manual ones, I could see those in the future because, the ones that people have, they really didn't take care of, or there's a bunch of miles on them. Like the one I have has like 200, I think, no, maybe 180 something thousand miles. So I really don't think people considered, being nice to them or taking care of them. They're like, well, this is a car that has like 300 horse and 300 foot-pounds of torque. I'm going to rip it around and, it's never going to be worth anything. But I think eventually that there's not going to be enough nice ones. And, people are going to come back and be like, man, that really was a cool car. Maybe we shouldn't have, just scrapped all those. So I could see the manual ones coming up in value, in the next, maybe 10 years or so. I was thinking it'd be dope if the new Dodge Caravan had an SRT8 swap. I've seen the old 98 Dodge van swap with an SRT4 motor, which was cool, but the newer van would be much cooler. I mean, yeah, they had those old Dodge vans that had the 4Gs in them and stuff like that. I don't know. I think they just replaced all that stuff with like hybrid because they could still be kind of fast, but they're hybrid now. So I really don't know if they're gonna go back that way because they have the ability to just put an electric motor in it and just have a hybrid. So, but we'll see. Who knows? I want $1 million. Well, Stan, get in line. For real, how's your project coming along? When's the next video of the Magnum? So this week I should have a video of it, probably closer to Friday, because it's going to be a lot of work to get it all, get the whole thing finally buffed and wet sanded and stuff like that. So and I'm going to put a bunch of other stuff together. So probably Friday. I'd say Friday. I'll have another video, probably the Liberty video out maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, and then maybe the Grand Prix. I'll put the LS back together if I get the heads back tomorrow or Tuesday or something like that. And I'm not sure if it'll be next week, but the fixture table, I'll weld that together and do that video so we can start getting the 4-wheel drive subframes all together. So I could get the. I was gonna just swap some rear-wheel drive stuff in it, but I don't know. I'm not sure. It's one of those things where I really want to drive the car, but do I want to have to pull everything back out, 4-wheel drive stuff back in? It's I think I'm just gonna do the subframes and get all that suspension and just get it over with. So it's one less thing to really worry about. Do you prefer spray liner or the plastic? I don't like the plastic inserts because they just scratch your bed up. So you might as well just spray. The spray liner is so cheap. I mean, I think the kits, I think they're like $150 for a kit, and it comes with a gun. You could literally spray. You could scuff it and spray it in an evening, and just have it done. You just mask everything off. It's pretty simple. There's not very much overspray, so you don't have to go super crazy with masking it off. And and then you save yourself a bunch of money. You don't have to take it. As long as you have a decent sized air compressor, you don't have to take it. And I feel like it costs quite a bit. I've never taken my, one of my vehicles to have the bed sprayed, but I feel like you could save a lot of money instead of having a company do it. Do you have a specific plan for ride height, or is it just going to be the sum of the OEM Trackhawk suspension parts all together? So actually the Trackhawk struts, so the rear ones I think are fine because they're the same. They're the same setup as the Hellcat. It has the strut separate, then it has a spring. So I'm just going to end up using Hellcat springs in the rear. I'll use the Trackhawk. I think what I'm going to do is use the Trackhawk strut, or I might end up using a Hellcat strut. Not exactly sure yet. And then I could go on the front. If I use the Trackhawk strut, it is way, way too long. So what I think I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to cut the base off of the Trackhawk struts, because the Trackhawk strut goes into that fork because the axle goes to the fork. And I think what I could do is weld that base onto the Hellcat strut, and then I could have everything just or I might have to shorten it. I'm not sure yet. I know I'm going to have to do some crazy stuff with the struts. I was talking to Black Ops, the guy at Black Ops Auto Works, about figuring out, what I'm going to do about struts a while ago. But, I have to do something. It's in the front, it's definitely too long. And, the car would be sitting as high as a Trackhawk. So I want it to be nice and, a good ride height. Probably, I want to be maybe half an inch to an inch lower than a factory Hellcat Charger. So I don't want it to be a monster truck or anything like that. So, when I get to that point, once the subframes and everything are finished up and I can start really, the rear will be easy. The front struts are going to be, I'm going to have to do some figuring out with that stuff. So we'll just kind of work around it once I get to that point. Any plans for the 3000 GT? Not really. I have that skirt ready. I just need to paint it. I don't have enough time to do all the stuff. I just need some. I almost need some like five of me. If I had five of myself, I could get so much stuff done. I could have the Charger done. I could have it wet sanded and buffed tonight. But um, once I start cloning people, that'd be awesome. I'll just clone like five of myself, and then I could just bust a bunch of stuff out. Um, we just shot over pre-existing black bed liner, scuffed it up a little bit, but they do sell tinnable bed liner and can get the tint for most automotive, the tint for most automotive paint places. So yeah, usually if there's already bed liner in there, I'll just, you don't even really have to worry. But so I've never really worried about scuffing the old bed liner because it's already textured, and I just spray over that. But if it doesn't have anything in there, it's just smooth paint, you have to scuff it up. Or I've had issues with even spots that I scuffed that I didn't scuff enough. It just chip off. It takes quite a bit if you're throwing stuff in there, but you could tell the spots that weren't scuffed enough. How much does the build cost? I don't know. I stopped keeping track. Your Charger Magnum looks awesome. Why doesn't Dodge make a wagon Charger and paint work looks awesome as well? I'm not sure why they don't make a wagon. It just seems like there would be a market for it because they would offer the same options as the Hellcat. So you'd have the SXT, you'd have the Scat Pack, and you have the Hellcat. So and it'd be simple. I mean, I don't understand why they made a Durango. I guess because it had third row seating, but I just feel like a smaller car would be better than having 3 SUVs instead of having like a Hellcat and a Challenger, and then a Charger, Challenger. They could have a Charger, Challenger, a Magnum, and then they could have their three. I think it's the Trackhawk, the Durango, and the T-Rex. I mean, 3 and 3. So they should do it. Let's see. When will we see the V70R, and what are the plans for it for YouTube? So the plan was to swap it to a manual transmission, but I'm not sure. I've been contemplating just selling it and looking for a manual V70R, and then just kind of already have one that's manual, and then I could sell all that swap stuff. But I'm not sure. It's one of those things where I'm not really too worried about it because I just have so much stuff going on with the Charger and the Grand Prix and this and that. So what should I eat for dinner? I had Subway, so maybe Subway. Will the Mini get a K24? I don't know. I was really thinking about all-wheel drive K24 before I found out I wasn't getting a title for it. So that was the original plan, was to all-wheel drive K24 it, but I'm not sure yet. What interior are you using for Rampage? Just a Hellcat Charger interior. Full plate, 400, 500 for 6 bottles of liner came with gun. 400, 500, that seems kind of expensive. And covered fairly well. I wonder what kind is it? Yes, Dodge is taking notes. I went to look at a Challenger, and the CEO at the dealership were talking about your videos and saying they might be production wagon all-wheel drive in 2024. I almost have to hear that for myself. I mean, it would be a lot to. So they already make the police Hellcats that are all-wheel drive, which you can't find. Really, you can't order any of the parts for them because they're like armored and they have all this special stuff, but they have to have a pretty beefy transmission in them because they weigh more. So it'd be interesting to see what transmission and what all-wheel drive system is in those cars, but you can't really they don't offer. I mean, I have my guy at Mopar Online Parts, Benny, and he's looked, and there you can't find anything. So, it would be a smart move for Dodge to make a wagon. I mean, it'd be cool. I don't know about an all-wheel drive wagon. It would be kind of cool, but even just a rear-wheel drive Hellcat one would be awesome. And I think it would appease, a lot of people that have been saying they want one and actually see, what the sales are and how many of them sell. Chrysler Dodge Mopar FCA should bring back the rapid transit system car concepts. I've never even heard of that. Dave, you finally finish everything, get it running great. And 2 days after finishing, someone walks up and offers you $1 million cash money on the spot. What would you do? I don't know. $1 million's not, $1 million wouldn't be bad, but I still would want to drive it. I'd want to enjoy it. I mean, it'd be hard to pass up $1 million for a car, especially, it's going to be a really nice car, but at the same time, would you ever get another offer like that is the question. So I really wouldn't want to sell it, but $1 million, I'd probably sell it. I mean, but that's never going to happen. So, I'm just going to keep it. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it will happen. I mean, maybe somebody will be like, oh man, I can't buy those. Let's buy this one. That new FCA group sounds funny. Oh, Stellantis. Yeah, I haven't looked at their stock lately. I was gonna buy it when it relisted, but I forgot. New rear-wheel drive Corolla would be nice too. They already made that. It was the BRZ, I thought. How are you doing this beautiful sunny Sunday? It's actually windy here, but I'm not doing too bad. I worked on the Charger a little bit. Challenger Demon Wagon next on Junkyard Dave. Actually, I wouldn't mind doing that. That Hearst was kind of cool, that render, but I don't know. We'll see. I think somebody was already doing like a wagon one that looks pretty good. Let's see. And anything over, anything over 6 figures will make your work worth that much. Huh? What? If they really had $1 million to buy a car, they could just have you build another one. I mean, see, there's an issue with that. So some people, sometimes I'm this person, but some people don't want to wait. I mean, they don't want to wait for you to build a car that's going to take 6 to 8 months to a year to build. They want to, they want the car now. They want to drive it. They just want to hop in and, they see it. They're like, that's dope. I want that. So, I don't know about $1 million, but it could happen. I mean, somebody could want a car so bad that they can't buy that, it could happen. But, and that's usually what happens when people sell stuff for crazy amounts. I mean, the same thing with the housing market and stuff. People are just buying houses, for, 100,000 or 50, 100,000, 150,000 over asking price. So, because there's not a huge supply of them and the demand is high. So let's see, National Corolla with proper engine. You get Rampage cut and polished already. So for the clear bra, so the driver's side is ready, but the tomorrow probably tonight and tomorrow I'm gonna wet sand and polish the passenger side and then get the roof and the hood. And I'm probably not gonna worry about having the hatch clear broad because it's all the way at the back of the car anyway. And I'm gonna have it made I don't know. Maybe I will have it clear broad. I don't know. We'll see what how I feel when I get to it. So let's see. Selling the car for anything would speak volumes of your work. Sorry for autocorrect. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, some people have enough money where they, $1 million isn't anything. So I don't think it's, I'd be surprised if it sold for, 500 grand. But at that point, even at 500 grand, I'd hesitate. I'd probably hesitate pretty hard to sell it. Would want to enjoy it, and I might not even want to sell it at that. So, I don't know. It's one of those things. Those U cars look cool. I have seen non-imported here. I mean, some of them do. Will you do special builds for clients who pay? I've actually talked to quite a few people. I've had subscribers email me because I have my email in the description of my videos. They're like, hey, I want to build a car. I want to do this. I want this swapped. I want that swapped. And then I start telling them prices of, a Hellcat, parts Hellcat's like, 35 to 40 grand. You have to buy that. You have to buy the parts, or you have to buy the car you're going to swap everything in. Or people that are like, I want to buy a Hellcat from the auction and fix it. And then I'm like, well, parts are going to be like 20 grand. Because I had like 13 to probably 20 grand in my Hellcat just in parts. Then you're not even out of labor. Sometimes at that point, it's almost worth just buying a good shell, swapping everything over, and just kind of, just depending on what you're doing. I had somebody message me about a Challenger, and it was, the rail was pushed into the firewall. So I mean, you have to put a new firewall. At that point, you're pulling so much out of the car, you might as well just start with a new shell. So I would do work for clients. It just it's most likely going to be really expensive. So you get what you pay for, I guess, is what I'm getting at. But plus, I'm in Colorado. A lot of people aren't very close to Colorado, so they're shipping for the car back and forth and this and that. So let's see. What about doing a Jeep or a build for the everyday person? So, I mean, I think the Grand Prix is kind of, I guess the Grand Prix kind of would be considered an everyday person build because I don't have really very much money into it. I got the car for $3,500. The machine shop's going to charge me probably $150 to do the heads. I've already put all those parts into it. The tranny swap kit, which I technically didn't need if I wasn't going to turbo it, was only, what was it? It was like $2,500 or something like that. So, not very. I mean, it's a bit of money, but to me, that's the average car person could afford that stuff. And I mean, Turbo LS3 or no, Turbo LS4, I think they run like 10s or something like that. So it wouldn't be too bad. I guess we'll see what it runs, but I mean, there's that. I have the VR4. I have the Supra and the Pulsar. I need to get the Supra and the Pulsar over to the Junkyard so I can finish a Supra video, and then I need to pull the engine and do some stuff to the Pulsar. So, but I'm really been focusing on the Charger and wanting to get that done. So that's really why I haven't done really anything with the Supra or the Pulsar or anything else. Plus, I've been working on the Liberty for like the past week. I had to tear that down and order parts and figure some stuff out and clean the intake manifold, which was a nightmare. But actually, the whole project was a nightmare because the intake manifold is the valve cover, is the cam cap holder, and like it's just a nightmare. So. I have to go. Have a nice day. See ya. Thanks for tuning in. I want to put a 2010 Dodge motor in a Plymouth. Can it be done? Yeah, I mean, anything can be done. I don't see, as long there is a company that you could do a standalone engine harness and they can make it work with anything. So, and then I think you could tune the ECU with HP tuners, however you want to tune it. So it can be done. I mean, bolting engines in, especially older cars, there's so many different swap mount kits. You could almost just order everything. And since the Hemis are pretty much, I think they all have the same bolt pattern for the engine mounts. So actually they have to have all the same bolt pattern because I think the Hellcat engine mounts work with the 5.7 and the 6.4. So yeah, I mean, I really don't think it would be difficult to do. Have my Gramps rusted 429 Mustang. Man, you need to restore that. Rapid transit concepts were from way back in the late 60s, 70s, where concepts done on specific vehicles like a 69 Dart Swinger, although it was more of a Plymouth thing. Interesting. What's your mind on rims and brake calipers on the Charger? What will go with the blue? So I've already done the calipers. I have a video on rebuilding the Trackhawk calipers. So I did them just like a tennis ball yellow, but they have glow in the dark. So in the sun, it just kind of looks, it almost looks like it's the yellow is kind of glowing, which is kind of cool. So I have the calipers already. The Trackhawk calipers are larger, quite a bit larger than the Hellcat calipers. So I should be adding quite a bit more stopping power to the car. Plus the rotors are larger, and just, you know, a bunch of stuff. So wheels, the Trackhawk wheels for the wide body are actually too thin. Trackhawk wheels, I think, are 10.5s. Stock wide body wheels are 11s wide, 20 by 11s. And I think I could go do 20 by 12 all the way around and kind of get away with it like that. So I'm not sure on the wheel style. I've seen a few wheels I really like, but I don't know if I can get them in those sizes because Trackhawks aren't that wide, and I don't know if I can get them in that bolt pattern. So we'll see once I get there. Have you seen the Elephant engine, 1,000 horsepower? So the Elephant engine is kind of cool because it's a factory Dodge 1,000 horsepower engine, but they really don't like to make too much over 1,000. And you might as well just, if you're going to spend that much money, it's actually a lot of money. So I think a Elephant engine is 36 or 39 or 40 grand. You could buy a fully built engine with CNC ported heads, everything, I think, for 25 grand with no cores. So I really think the Elephant, it's cool that Dodge makes it, but I think it's kind of overrated and the price is way too high for what it is. Would you consider doing a resto mod, basically an old car and put a modern engine in it? I've thought about it. I don't know. It's going to happen eventually. You're going to build a 4x4 like CJ or Willie, or think about a rally car build? So I've been thinking about selling the Subaru, but I have the Bug Eye Subaru, which is technically a rally car. So I don't know what I want to do with it, if I want to keep it or not, but I've been thinking about kind of liquidating some projects that I'm not really going to do anything with, or that I'm not going to do anything with in, like the next 6 months or something. I could just sell them and then come back if I, well, I want to do this again. I could just find another one or something like that. So I just don't have a bunch of crazy stuff sitting around, instead of, having all this stuff sitting around that's, it's there. I could use it here and there, but, it'd be nice to not have to really worry about it. So let's see. I want to find a car from Copart, but it was a lot of red tape in it to buy one. Yeah, so there is a lot. So Copart has a lot of weird stuff going on. So I don't really know. I don't use Copart anymore. I did use Copart, I don't know, quite a while ago. It's probably like 4 years ago. And I got in a situation where they just kind of, lost my business because what happened was I, uh, I bid on an RX-7. I didn't win it because the buyer wanted, I think, so I think my winning bid, so I won the auction, I won it for like $5,000 or something. Then the seller countered me at like 14. And I was like, I don't want it. You guys, you could relist it, whatever. I don't want to deal with it. And so then they send me, they're like, you owe 12 grand. And I'm like, why do I owe 12 grand when I won it at 5? And then they counter me at 14 or something. And then, they're like, oh, well, we'll do it at this. And that's what it was. I don't know. It's just weird. And it just rubbed me wrong. So I just ate the cost of not even buying it because it wasn't, to me, worth that. So after that point, I was just like, never using Copart again. And then the fees on it were just crazy. They had like a loading fee and all this stuff. And, I use IA and it doesn't seem like there's as many fees. So, I don't know. Plus if you don't have a dealer's license, you have to use a broker, and there's extra fees using a broker. So, plus you have to find a good broker. Most of the time, you have to have, I think it's like 10% down of whatever you're gonna buy. So, I probably should do like a how to buy a car from an auction video. Maybe that would probably be a good video for. I think I did kind of one a long time ago, but maybe I could revisit that and we could kind of do something with that. So maybe coming up I'll do that. 40G. Somebody told me just to go to Facebook and find something. Any new car purchases that you have not shown us in YouTube? So yeah, I do have that Mark III Supra that I bought a couple weeks ago. I really haven't been able to do the rest of the video because I just haven't had time. So I went and picked it up and started a video, but it's literally been, I think, 2 weeks since I got it. So I need to get down to the junkyard so I can pull the engine and training and stuff so I could start messing with that. But that's coming up. It's coming up too. Lots of things coming up. How many cars do I have, and which projects are you going to scrap? I'm probably not going to scrap that many projects, but I've also been thinking about doing a video of all my projects and what I'm doing with them, what stage they're in, what's the plans with them. But it's going to be a very long video because I have a lot of cars. So plus, then everybody could kind of figure out what cars I have and where things are going and stuff like that. I think it would be a very good video. So I'll probably end up doing that in the next week or so, just to get all my subscribers kind of on the same page, and then we could just kind of move forward. What's going on, Dave? Happy Sunday. Not too much. Thanks. I appreciate that. Think you'll ever do a rally race? They got amateur racing to start. You can put a roll cage and racing seats and suspension on the Subaru. So I already have Forester struts on the Subaru. I mean, it technically isn't rally suspension or anything, but it does pretty well. I mean, I built, not really built, but I have that rally track that I kind of, ripped around on, and it does well, but I need to put tires in the car, and other than that, that's really the only issue I had. I was trying to do some all-wheel drive donuts in snow, and the tires are too far gone. They really didn't have enough traction. So now, what PSI do I paint? So I technically don't know what PSI I paint at. I just listen to it. People are probably gonna flame me for it, but I just kind of go to, I don't know, it sounds a certain way. And, you know, I got to that sound from when I spray my base and my clear. I usually spray them at a different PSI, but the clear I spray at a higher pressure. I know it's a higher pressure, so it atomizes the clear. It wastes a lot of clear because it's really just misting it on there. And it really atomizes it and just really puts it out. But and then it lays down really nice. So I'm not sure what PSI it is, but it has to be at least like 35 or something. So it's probably not much help, but I don't have a gauge on my gun. I just kind of have a filter and I listen. So long time watcher. Thanks, I appreciate that. What piece of gear or tool do you really need? I have no clue. I don't know. I really don't know. I've been looking at maybe buying one of those Roops systems for like buffing. I really hate buffing, but I've heard those kind of help out a lot to get, you know, be more consistent and not have to worry, because the orbital buffers or the big buffers, I don't know what they're exactly called. It's like the grinder buffers, whatever you want to call them. But it to me, it just seems like it goes, you know, you're just going so fast. I mean, the Roop system, it just like, it's a smaller disc. It turns at a, you know, consistent speed. I mean, that also does, but it's just such a large pad, and, you know, the tool's so big. I don't know. I've been thinking about getting one of those, but I'm not sure. They're kind of expensive for how little buffing I do. You never talk about your personal life, married, bachelor, girlfriend. Just wondering. So yeah, I'm just single, man. I just you know, I've had girlfriends over the course of my life, and it's just, for me right now, it's just easier to just be single. I mean, it's nice just hanging out and not having to worry about anybody but myself. I mean, it's just really nice. So at this point, you know, it is what it is. If I find a cool chick, cool. But if I don't, I mean, it's just one of those things. It doesn't bother me. It's just nice kind of chilling out. I want to do Dodge Durango 2013 and make it into a show SUV maybe. Ooh, that'd be a lot of work. That's a very large car. Me too. Single life feels good. I mean, it does. I mean, you just like, you come home, you don't have to worry about, you know, you don't have to worry about doing just random things that you don't want to do. You can watch wherever you want. I don't know. It's just nice. It's just really nice. Week 2 of Dave needs a dog. Is that lightning? That was weird. What is your thoughts about clay barring? It was like, man, that was bright. I thought that was a car going by at first. What's your thoughts on clay barring to bring back old cars paint? It kind of depends on what, so really a clay bar doesn't bring back paint. So all a clay bar does is get rid of the contaminants on top of the paint. And then once you clay bar it, you could go over it and buff it and you know, do that stuff. You don't want to be buffing with all that crap on top of the paint, because then you'll be, you know, you have leads and all kinds of weird materials that get stuck to your paint and embedded in them. That's pretty much what the clay bar does and takes out. So really a clay bar is just like prep before you go and buff the car. So buffing a car, and depending on what kind of paint it is, if it's single stage, I mean, you really have to be careful either way. But single stage paint, there's only so much of it on there, and when you buff it, you take some off of it. So a really easy way to tell if you have single stage paint is when you start to buff it, if the color starts to come off with it and it's still shiny, it's single stage, and you know you don't want to go too far with it because there's no clear. It's just single stage paint. It's just a glossy thing. I don't know, but I really don't deal with it because I usually just base and clear stuff. So Raptor or TRX? I don't know. TRXs are cool. I think those are way better than Raptors, but I think both of them are not what they're perceived to be. I mean, you take them off road, they're both gonna be beat. I mean, you've seen the videos. I mean, everybody's seen the videos of people trying to jump them and stuff, and they're pretty much done after that. So, right, am I ever gonna do a truck? I did my original truck, and I've been thinking about. So what I've been thinking about doing, which if anybody's interested, I may be selling my truck, my F350. So we'll see what happens, but I may be selling it because I want to either get. So the plans are to either get a Chevy diesel, another Ford. Well, there's two options for Fords. I could get a single rear wheel F350, which would be a lot easier to drive around. Maybe not an 8-foot bed, maybe a 6-foot bed, maybe, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure. Or I can get an F450 Platinum Ultimate, and then it'll still be a dually and it'll be huge, but it'll be dope. So I'm not exactly sure, but if I do that, I'm gonna sell my truck and then buy another auction one and just kind of go that route again, because that's all I do. So, and then we could have some more truck content, and I could, in the meantime, either drive the 6.4 around or the ambulance. So, you know, whenever I need a truck. So. Junkyard Dave rally car. Do you drive good enough to do good times in rally? I mean, I should be able to. I don't know. I've never really driven rally, so I mean, I could rip around on the street. I could probably put some good times down. I'm really not sure about dirt. I've driven fast on dirt and stuff, but not crazy. You know, you've seen the videos where they're just doing crazy stuff rallying, but and jumping stuff and turns and stuff like that. You'd have to kind of learn how to do that stuff and kind of be versed in it, because I'm not. So I don't know what times I'd be able to do. Do I like motorcycles or boats? I don't mind motorcycles. The only real reason I don't ride motorcycles is because people suck at driving and I don't want to die. So and that's why I drive cars and trucks, because if I'm going to wreck into something, at least I'm inside of something. So I've ridden motorcycles and done some stuff like that, but I'm not gonna, I don't know, I'm not really, and I don't have insurance. So like health insurance, I have insurance on all my other stuff, but yeah, so probably not motorcycles, but I was looking at a boat. I'm probably gonna go look at it tomorrow. It's a boat project. If you know me, you know I'm gonna buy a project. So we'll see about the boat. So yeah, I don't know. I like all kinds of things. I like pretty much what everybody else likes. I heard Pumper Putty does the same thing as clay bar. Never even heard of Pumper Putty. It's interesting. Let's see. Those F650, oh, now we're getting into like crazy stuff, are huge, and they have a Caterpillar in it. I was F450, it still has a 6.7. If I'm gonna go F650, I might as well just get an M2 International and just deck it out. But you know, those are, I don't think they make any new ones, but those things could look super sweet. So, and then I need something even larger to paint. So we might as well just go that route. I could just paint a semi next, which that's almost a semi. It's like half a semi. So do you watch any car shows on TV or online? Not really. I don't really get around to it. see, I have a Sonic Ferry. Huh, cool. Would you consider building a Corvette? Possibly. I'd rather build a CTSV than a Corvette, or a Viper instead of a Corvette, but maybe a Corvette. I don't know. Who knows? I never know what I'm going to buy until I buy it. It's just like, look at that. I'm gonna buy that. So I just don't know. I don't want to die. What? Oh. See, at least I could go 200 miles an hour in a Hellcat and wreck it and probably survive. If you wreck a motorcycle doing 200 miles an hour, you're most likely going to be dead. Like there's a 99% chance you're going to die. So there's probably a 75% chance that you're going to live if you wreck a Hellcat at 200 miles an hour. So yeah, motorcycles are fun, but they're just, I don't know, it's just a whole other thing. Sounded like hail. I think I'm gonna end the live stream because I don't know what's going on outside, and it sounds like hail. So, oh man, oh no. All right, I'm gonna end the live stream. See you guys until next time.